What's up, Hidden Shadows? It's your boy, Alex. Thank you for joining us on the podcast today. For first-time listeners, we are a movie review podcast, except we don't hate ourselves and try to find everything wrong with the movies we review. We try to stay a little bit on the positive side of things because at the end of the day, we are still movie fans. Once again, my name is Alex, and with my two homies, Con, aka Junior, and Nakonsy, we release episodes every Friday. Today we reviewed Gemini Man, starring Will Smith and Benedict Wong and Mary Elizabeth Winstead. And Will Smith again. It was a super dope movie, guys. I really had fun recording this episodes. We got into some weird, silly tangents as usual, but I think that adds a little bit of spice or cinnamon to our movie reviews, and that's just for you guys. We do that for you. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and please, if you enjoy the episode, share it with your friends. Give us a 5-star rating so that we can shout you out on the next episode, and you can write whatever you want. Or ask us questions about the movies we reviewed, and we'll discuss it for a little bit on the following episode. We want to hear from you guys, and we want to hear your guys' thoughts on these movies as well, and get those opinions out there. But I think that's it for me. So enjoy the episode.
Good segue into the intro. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah,
I like it. Hey guys, welcome to Hidden Shadows of the Secret Chamber, a movie review podcast, and I am Alex.
Are you? Is it?
Thank you for checking, Junior. Yes, I am in fact Alex.
What's up, fam?
I don't like being Junior. I'm gonna be JR,
somebody else today,
so I can drop bars. bars.
June, you still stuck in like Nakonsy's hype man mode right now?
Yeah, he's pretty good hype man. Pretty good.
I like it. No, yeah, I feel like it's contagious. Like I feel motivated. Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, JR with the
fuck
bars.
Yeah, dude. Like totally, fuck yeah.
Yeah, who let that white guy into the rap show?
Fuck yeah, dudes. Like, fuck yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it when he does that. I don't.
Yeah. So, we got a busy month this month, but also a busy month next month because it is our favorite time of the year, the San Diego Asian Film Festival.
Yas.
And they got a new feature actually on their website right now where you can watch the trailers and then hit the heart button and you make your own schedule of movies you want to see.
Dude.
You can
So-
help
Is this
vote on that.
on their Instagram, or where is this on?
It's on their website, sdaff.com.
That's cool. That's exciting. All right, guys, welcome to this freaking beautiful movie podcast called Hidden Shadows of the Secret Chamber. And today we are going to review the powerful Gemini Man, starring Will Smith and Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Weinstein. Weinstein.
And who else? Hold on. I will tell you right now. Benedict Wong.
Yes,
sir.
Benedict Wong.
I was so happy to see him.
I was happy.
That was so funny.
You were
Me too.
funny.
I wasn't there, but I bet he was.
I'm doing the
I
thing
bet.
where I agree with everything.
Actually, don't fall for that. He's doing a
You
different
just agreed
thing.
with what I agreed with.
He's doing a different thing that he's still not going to tell us.
I'm in agreement with his agreement.
Yeah, but how about Clive Owen? I was like, who is that guy? He looks so familiar. Good old Clive. Good old
Wait,
Clive.
who?
Clive Owen.
What is he from?
He's from a lot of things, but he basically, you sprinkle Clive in like you sprinkle chives in.
And then you got an omelette du fromage.
That's right. He was in Inside Man with Denzel Washington.
The Informer.
Children of Men, which are fantastic movies. Yeah, he's in a lot of movies.
That's cool. That's fantastic. I want to give my impressions of this movie, and I want to talk about a factoid that Nakonsy brought to our attention, and that is the fact that Ang Lee shot this movie in 120 frames per second, and essentially no U.S. movie theater could play it at
This is the craziest part that I found out after Nakonsy had already told me that. I did some deep diving on it. It goes even further. He fucking shot this shit in 8K resolution at 120 frames. It's even fucking more insane.
Yeah, but we couldn't even see it in 8K.
That's the
thing. The movie
that's
theaters only supported 2K at 120 frames per second.
We were lucky that we even got the 120. Like most theaters, I think, are doing it at 4K 60, if that. And
I think that's the
only setup that I could when I was looking through other articles and shit for it, the only setup that actually had the 8K 120 like full setup was the premiere night in China. And they didn't get to keep that setup. It was literally only for the premiere. Insane.
When you saw it, Alex, how were the frames per second? Because I don't know how they played it for like a regular showing.
I don't feel like it was lacking anything. You know what I mean? I thought it was really good quality, but when I read your article, my mind was just kind of like, oh shit, like how much better could it have gone? You know what I mean? If I watched it at how it was shot and how Ang Lee intended for it to be seen.
When you watched it, did it look weird at all?
Okay, so, and this is actually one of my what the fuck moments. The only time it did look weird was at the end of the movie. I'll go into more detail about that, but yeah, during the end of the movie, I think that's when it was very apparent that, okay, there's an issue with the quality that was very, very obvious, and I was kind of like, what the fuck? Like, this is such a contrast from the rest of the movie. So, what about you guys? How was your experience?
That's actually pretty interesting. I actually didn't like the high frame per second. I'm gonna be a negative Consy on this review.
Whoa!
I didn't like it.
Posy Consy.
Wow.
It took me out of the film.
Interesting.
The only parts that were really spectacular was their use of 3D when we got it, because in the article, Ang Lee talks about how for the 3D, you kind of lose some of the 3D when it's not moving as fast and realistic. So when they had the 3D, I was like, "Whoa, this looks crazy." But when there was no use of 3D, then it looked like soap opera-ish to me.
Oh, that's interesting.
Where it just looks almost fake and plasticky.
Yeah, okay, I get what you mean. That kind of the Young and the Restless type quality where you feel like it was
it was like, yeah,
with like a
where it was
VHS camera.
It wasn't a particularly good set to showcase 3D, and so you're like looking at like a Star Trek set where you're like, yeah, there's some cardboard over there and some Lincoln lights. So they didn't need to do a lot.
But one of my favorite parts where the high frames per second really blended well was one of the last fight scenes. And that was spectacular in 3D with 120 frames per second.
I bet it was.
I looked at Junior and I was like, oh shit, finally, so we get some good shit.
Yeah, for you, it was like
for me, I was like, finally, this is what I was waiting for it to be.
Right.
It looked extremely smooth, and it was, you could see everything. It was like you weren't missing anything.
All right, so frames per second aside, I think I'd like to actually just mention that the movie itself was pretty damn good. I thought that that Will Smith, he, even though like I follow him on Instagram, which is one of like the downsides of like knowing actors' personal lives, is that sometimes you can't get sucked into the character. I thought Will did a fantastic job of portraying Henry.
Yeah, because
I was
sometimes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because sometimes I agree with you. Sometimes you're like, oh, that's Will Smith on camera.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, I saw Henry the loner, the lone assassin who was just trying to retire and who was tactical and doesn't trust people easily and is ruthless when he needs to be. It was cool. I thought he did a fantastic job, and I think he pushed the plot along really well.
In a very different way from Joker, this movie had to have Will Smith carry it because he's two characters. It's weird.
True that, man.
Like, there's so many things I want to talk about.
What about his supporting cast? I thought they were great.
They
already mentioned
they were a lot of fun, and they were good foils, in my opinion. There was a lot of different things going on in the movie that, like if you want to be super nitpicky, didn't flow correctly, but at the same time, they flowed well enough. This is like, and the reason I'm saying it like that is because like I get where you're saying Will Smith as Henry, this like super old, like I'm retiring assassin who's been through a lot of shit, but still has like part of his personality, part of his soul together.
Right.
I wouldn't say that he was like a lone assassin so much as he was so job focused. Like he was really mission focused and was really good on covering his ass, and being human about it. Because like the whole point of I can't remember the character's name right now because all I see was Mary Elizabeth Weinstein.
Oh, her name was Danny.
Yeah. So kind of like the whole point of Danny even being saved in the first place was really well done on Ang Lee's part, the writer's part, and Will Smith's part, because it doesn't occur to me, like I was confused, like why exactly are you saving this bitch? Oh, because she like is getting caught in the crossfire. Okay, that's fair. And then later on, like you said, like that kind of ruthlessness is like, no, I'm legitimately just covering my ass.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was a really
not
cool,
only that, but like a sense of like loyalty, or a sense of like, hey, I know they're gonna fuck you in the ass, and you're genuinely a good person, and I'm tired of like just putting another tally mark on my conscience to look at. So I'm gonna save you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It was still a deep enough character with like, in my opinion, good motivations, and it develops well. I'm just saying that at the same time, like if you're being really nitpicky, I can see people being like, well, like, but like why? If you're such a badass, Why didn't you just kill her? Because the whole point of the movie is he still has part of his conscience, right? Like, that's what separates him from his Gemini man.
Yeah, no, and plus, like, I think Danny's character was fantastic. I thought Baron, who was Benedict Wong's character, I thought he was great. He was a very charismatic and lovable character. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do you guys have any other impressions you guys want to get into about the movie, or you guys want to jump into some badass moments?
I thought I was kind of unimpressed with Clive Owen as the villain. I mean, I understand his purpose, but it was kind of like, you know, your typical ha 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 ha, I've had this plan forever. And after we've seen so many good movies this month, I was like, meh, but it was a good time. And Will Smith, he's just fantastic.
Does it again.
Yeah, when he, at the beginning, when he has his sniper shot and he's having the conversation with that kid over the phone that recorded it, that was a hilarious little bit. And it was like, Will Smith was like, oh yeah, I guess that was pretty clean, but I've just been doing it for so long. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I did enjoy that little. I think that was like for the sniper nerds for sure. You know
I
what
do
I mean?
agree with there are like I can't necessarily fault Clive Owen so hard, but we have been spoiled with a lot of other good movies this year, especially, and like
with good villains, right?
yeah, like I understand the character development they went for is they were trying to portray him not so much as a like inherently bad like supervillain and more of a like okay, but you're my son. Like that was the angle they were going for, and unfortunately we were all already convinced from the get-go that like who the fuck steals and clones somebody and has him ordered to kill his original self. Like, this is fucked up.
I think that if they would have just cut the movie, maybe made it like 20 minutes shorter, it would have been a better pace.
Probably, right?
Just 2 hours for this type of movie was just a little too long.
I think I agree. I think that they didn't need to flesh out too much, and they could have just let the action do the talking and just wrap it up. But
that's a thin line because also, Alex, like, it's too simple of a plot, not enough character development, then you're not interested.
But I think what Nakonsy was talking about was just kind of
in this case
Clive's.
Yeah, Clive's like it felt definitely that like the like final fight scene with flamethrower was like and then they I felt like they dragged that out for at least 5 minutes of like there's more.
Wait, can I tell you how I would have ended the movie?
Tell me.
I would have okay, huge spoiler alerts.
Spoiler alert
for people not that are listening to this. So, at the very end, there's this crazy badass character that is moving so fast and fighting so clean, and you're like, who the fuck is this masked person? And then he takes off his mask, and it's another Will Smith.
Right. Okay. How would you have ended it?
So,
I think I know what you're going to say.
The way I would have ended it would be that all three of these Will Smiths, finish fighting Clive Owen, and then they stumble upon a factory with millions of Will Smiths.
Okay, I did not see that coming. I thought you were going to say it was going to be Clive Owen. You know what I mean? It would have been Clive Owen instead of Will. But actually, your thing makes more sense. I think that could have been an easy
I'm glad
follow-up
I'm
for
glad that you were
continuation
thinking about,
to the movie.
I'm glad you were thinking about like Clive Owen cloning himself, because that is actually one of my what the fuck moments. Is that is a pretty major plot hole. Like, why didn't he clone himself?
Yeah.
He already understood that Will Smith is the best.
Yeah, basically, right?
Yeah,
That's the whole point of it. He went after Will Smith,
Right,
because he
so
was the best. Henry in this case.
He understands that Henry is the best, and that's the one that he wants to make a super soldier out of. But at the same time, this man throughout the movie is literally like, fuck everything. Like, I have money, I have power, I have clones. Fuck yeah, do it.
Wait,
Go shoot him up. Like, he doesn't care.
check this out. Okay, so you know how I secretly like to make some weird timeline.
He does his own head
for continuity
all the
of certain
time.
films, and I just like to tie them together. Okay, so Will Smith, Gemini Man, is actually a sequel to Suicide Squad because he's Deadshot. And far into the future, when he gets old and he ends up getting cloned on this secret mission, okay, then he just never dies. And then eventually he'll figure out when the world starts dying from different viruses and it ends up just being him by himself, he is I Am Legend. And that's how you tie those three movies together.
That's a fun little thought process. I like that.
Yeah.
I could see how that could be connected.
Yeah.
But in an alternate timeline, right? Where he doesn't become the killer Henry, he actually instead becomes the world's magical black caddy, the Legend of Bagger Vance.
Ooh. So when does Hitch happen?
Oh, that's after the Legend of Bagger Vance.
Yeah, that's
But
gotta
if you
be.
go
Okay.
way back to when he was actually originally cloned, he was just a genie in a lamp.
Oh shit!
And because of how powerful genies are, there's a third timeline where he literally saved Earth again from aliens.
Oh my god!
In a black
That was the
suit.
third wish.
Men in Black.
Yeah. Well, that was the third wish that Aladdin never used.
But in the future
fuck.
of Men in Black, where they already have so much sci-fi technology for Men in Black, that's where in the far future, iRobot.
And he was also cloned so many times that he was turned into Hancock.
Which is the prime powerful
shit.
version of Will Smith.
He's
Hancock.
the one. He was the original one.
The one, which is also a fantastic Jet Li movie, which I think that Jet Li's The One does this kind of, even though it's a different take. I think The One does a better job at telling the story.
I think you're right. I think we should go through Jet Li's discography and talk about how all those movies connect to one another.
Well, Jackie Chan has
Let's talk about
Jackie Chan has a discography.
Jinx.
Jet Li has a filmography.
Discography. Filmography.
It's okay.
Thank you,
Jackie
guys.
Chan, Jet Li, Bruce Lee, Bruce Lie, Chuck Norris, they all look the same.
Especially Chuck
It was
Norris.
definitely
He's got
just
the
me using the wrong
jawline.
term. So,
Flamed.
that was great, guys. Thank you. And I'd love to get into some badass moments if that's cool.
Yes. Do it.
All right.
Just before we get into that, because I always got to get one in.
Just one.
One.
This
finger.
movie was actually really plausible on ammo count. Guns were not on screen long enough. Firefights were not long enough to warrant the implausibility of he didn't fucking reload. Like, I didn't get a good look at his gun. It could have been a Glock. There's several 9mm, but in general, those have a capacity over around 9 to 10 and climbing kind of deal. Like for the pistol shootout scenes. And then I counted, granted, I might have missed a few, 25 when he was using the weird AK as a sniper. That one is in particular. Like, there's a lot of moments where I was just like, oh, this isn't unreasonable bullet counting. This is pretty okay. Unfortunately, it wasn't tactical and showing us all the reloads. It gets only half a point for that.
And that was Junior's bullet count. Next time on Junior's bullet count, he will count how many jelly beans was in that jar at Starbucks.
There
And he
was
will
not
get that
enough jelly beans
pumpkin
in that
spice
that
latte.
jar at all to have fired out of that gun.
While
There just
wearing
wasn't
Ugg
enough.
boots and yoga pants.
Oh yeah,
Yoga pants
Oh,
make my
yeah.
butt look bigger. I hear that's what the guys like. Big butts.
they really do give
You know?
it like that pump.
And sometimes they cannot lie. Like the other brothers.
Don't deny.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That when a yoga butt walks
get it.
in with like a itty bitty waist and a round thing
Mm-hmm.
gets in your face,
Uh-huh.
sometimes you're sprung.
And I want to get with you and take your picture.
This episode has a lot of good bits.
It does. I'm gonna take a scissor to that, and I'm just gonna slice and dice. My badass moment was the encounter that Henry has with his clone in Colombia.
And there was no cocaine.
And there was no cocaine anywhere. I was like, all right, good for you, Colombia. You guys are getting rid of your problem. You know, you went to rehab and you're turning yourself around. Okay. I just really like the super awesome sniper fight all the way down to like how ruthless and relentless Junior, aka the clone,
Oh no,
was
I'm
with
ruthless
the
as
motorcycle.
Fuck. I will
Oh,
fuck you up.
You are Wu-Tang. You are Wu-Tang.
I will
but-
fuck them up like Wanderlust with my dick.
Please clean all the phlegm off of the microphone.
There's
after-
none on it. I looked away.
I'm definitely not using that mic next time.
It's okay. Mine has the sticker on it. It's supposed to be mine.
That's why. I think that's specifically why we did that. But no, it was really like it was one of those moments where you were really afraid for Henry. At least I was. I was like, "Yo, Henry is being overwhelmed by his clone, and like just one wrong move, you felt like could have fucked him up bad."
I will support your argument here with it is complete like it was the first time in pretty much we can theorize that pretty much in his entire life since like training that he ever had something feel kind of dangerous. And
yeah,
like it was really, really crazy because when he finally catches a glimpse of Junior's face, and he like hesitates, like, what the fuck did I just look at?
yeah, in the mirror,
Right?
Yeah.
Like that was a really, really well done scene in general because it delivers a like, okay, yeah, we saw all the fucking trailers for Gemini Man. Yeah. We already know that it's Will Smith versus young Will Smith. Yeah. But the point is that scene really delivers that kind of in the like storytelling shock of what the fuck I'm looking at me.
Yeah, it was really impactful. I feel it had the same impact if we didn't know that that's what the movie we were going into. So I agree, sir.
You're welcome. Well agreed. Do you disagree or agree with what we just said? Because we said it again while you were agreeing to disagree. Agree.
I'm gonna
No, I'm still. Oh yeah,
I'm gonna have to let that sprinkle and mingle in my thoughts.
What badass moments do you guys have?
Good badass moment. My personal badass moment is proof that I am a big fat fanboy, and that is Mary Elizabeth Winstead's first fight scene in the little shack.
Yeah.
Like, that was pretty brutal. That was fucking badass. That was really cool.
That was very memorable. I still think about, how she handled it. It was really awesome. When she handed Will certain items when she walked out of that hut, I thought that was pretty crazy. I'm not going to spoil it for y'all.
Yeah.
My badass moment was the 3D in this film. I can't get over how good the 3D looked.
Really good.
It was so good. There was at the beginning the scene of Will Smith using the sniper rifle. The sniper rifle was coming out of the screen.
Damn.
Like I
that's crazy.
I reached my hand out and I felt hard, cold metal. And when the wind blew by my face, I smelt the long strands of grass.
It smelled kind of like butter to me for a different reason.
But I could also smell the engine from the train.
Okay.
As everything sped by so quickly. And it was so much stress trying to make sure that I shot the guy just right before the train went in to the cold, dark tunnel. And then everything flashed as I took a deep breath and pulled the trigger and hit the guy in the neck.
I'm not sure if that was a vagina monologue or not.
You asshole. I think I might actually have to put like an audience clapping in that one then. So that
I'm just glad you guys let me do that. That's pretty good.
No, please. We got to let you get those.
That was also a very, very badass moment. And another badass moment for me for just to close it out, because I didn't get to talk about it really at the beginning of the podcast, is honestly this high frame rate for me was amazing. I thought that going like just after we had watched it, I was like, that was amazing. I wonder like if like that was just so fucking cool. There was so much cool shit going on all the time. I felt like at 120 frames, because I play so much games, like I understood why Ang Lee wanted to showcase how smooth, how different it feels and how crazy things were. Because if you play a game at 60 frames with motion blur, a lot of the times the motion blur honestly just feels like shit. It's just like I already get real life lag from my brain processing the fact that my hand's moving a little bit too fast, you know? But like
right.
at 120 frames, it felt so natural for a lot of those transitions to just suddenly go from like piggybacking off of Nakonsy's badass moment of like pink mist, basically. Like it was insane to see how smooth and how fast everything was going and how they wanted to shoot that like entire opening scene. Like just seeing everything, it felt natural. And it's weird because for me, I understand where Nakonsy was coming from, where it took him out of the film. But for me, I was like, I want this all the time. I want this to be this smooth all the time. And
yeah, and I think that's what Ang Lee is trying to, right?
Yeah,
he's
like
trying
he
to
was showcasing that kind of
encourage.
technology. And the actual craziest part is knowing that what we saw still wasn't the like prime time 110% version of the movie he wanted, right? Like we only saw it in
only.
2K at 120.
I want to see it in just a regular 24 frames per second showing and see what I think about the movie then. It's just 2 hours is a lot of running time to swallow.
Yeah.
Oh,
you guys want to get into your number ratings, or did you have anything else to add?
I do want to get into the number rating.
Oh,
I'm going to give this movie a 6 out of 10. Amazing technology. But I felt that they could have put the story together a little bit better. I mean, there are high notes, but a lot of the storytelling kind of felt, like just a regular action film, which is nothing wrong with that. But I just wanted a little bit more from Ang Lee, since he's made so many good films, like The Life of Pi.
Yeah, that's true.
Brokeback
That's
Mountain.
a good point.
I was just expecting a little bit more connection to the characters.
I purposely said
I-
Brokeback Mountain. By the way, it's kind of crazy to know that he did those two.
That is kind of crazy, yeah. I am going to there's a lot of reasons why this movie should be a 6 out of 10 for me, but I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. And I could sit here and nitpick it, but I sincerely enjoyed it. And I understand that the concept is kind of outdated, right? Clones, have your clones fight our clones, and then nobody has to go to war. I get it. But I think Will Smith and his supporting cast delivered such an awesome performance that it gave it that extra point to push it up to a 7 out of 10. So
I think I might have given it a 7 out of 10 if I watched it at 24 frames per second. Just watching it at 120 frames took me out of the movie too much.
I got you.
It took me way out of the movie. I was
Like
yeah.
that's why I was talking about it, was because it is kind of weird.
It is. It looked weird.
Like
Most of the time, I'm like,
a lot of the
this
time
looks
that you
weird.
were saying, like,
looks
it
weird.
looks weird. Like a
This
lot of
looks
times for
weird.
me, I was just like, this is fucking bad. Like,
it was
I
almost-
wish I had a machine that could do this shit all the time.
It was
This is
almost
so cool.
distracting. I was like, this looks weird.
I was riding the
Yeah,
hype train.
I think you would have. This would have been one of those few times, Const, that you would have enjoyed just the 24 frame per second showing, because I thought it looked great.
Yeah, the cinematography was amazing.
Mr. Khan, I believe we saved the best for last.
I legit was so fucking hyped once we sat down and we were seeing everything. And I thought that Will Smith and his supporting cast did an amazing job with what they were given with. What they were given. And I also, I will say that I did expect a little bit more from Ang Lee on kind of like this writing, like the writing angle. And ultimately, all things considered, I still put this at an 8. I was so excited.
Wow.
I had so much fun. I thought it was amazing and beautiful and badass. The things that you like I said a lot of times throughout the podcast, and also what you mentioned for giving it a 7, like if you want to nitpick a lot of these things, then it starts losing its value. And there's a difference between critiquing it and then just being like turned off and nitpicking it, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you are not an employee at Rotten Tomatoes, so
Yeah.
you actually still enjoy movies, unlike those people who are dead inside.
Yeah, I am an employee at Hidden Shadow Productions.
That's right. We still love movies over here.
And then when you listen back to this, you'll be like, I don't know if Nakonsy liked the movie or disliked the movie, because I always find something that's good about the movie.
Which is just our podcast in general. We like talking about the things we like.
it's probably just how the 3D, bro. I think that's probably what fucked with you, or the 120 frames per second.
It had to have been the 120
that
that messed up his experience. Because like I said, for me, it's like I wish that I could just have my computer do this all the time. I think that was another thing that made it really amazing for me. Is I was literally the whole time just thinking, this is like having a really, really badass computer and watching a really, really long 2-hour cutscene for a video game. Like, it was fucking badass the whole time.
No, for sure. No, it was goddamn. I would watch it again. Honestly, I thought it was great. I would watch this movie again. It was a lot of fun, and I was just like you, June. I was hyped when I was going in. I was like, dude, I'm excited. I haven't been excited for a movie in a long time, and
for different reasons. Like for like why you were excited, like. Yeah, for like why you're excited. Like, there's different reasons for you to be excited for stuff. Like, I was excited for Pomare, and that was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece of work. And then I was also excited for Joker, and this was a completely different level of like, like 120 frames of fucking insane action with 2 Will Smiths.
Do you know what I could compare this excitement to? Is like the excitement you used to feel when you went to the movies, like, I don't know, 15 years ago.
Oh, when we were wee babies.
When we were little lads, and we didn't know what we're going into. The cast was cool. The trailer looked cool, and you were just stoked just on that little bit of information, and you didn't know anything, and that's how I felt going into this. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what I'm in store for, but I'm excited. So,
and luckily your excitement didn't disappoint you.
Yeah, 100%.
That's a very, very big thing about what you just said. That nostalgia of like, I don't know what I'm going into. That was what I felt when we watched Addams Family. I was like, I did not know how they were going to portray the Addams Family. I didn't know what kind of jokes they wanted to pull.
Yeah, side note, before we end this lovely podcast, Addams Family was fucking amazing.
Really?
Yeah. Yes, I had so much fun watching it. It was hilarious. The animation was fantastic, and it was a great I would say origin reboot for the Addams Family.
Like, I could
you
see
should
them,
check the ratings right now. The critics are loving it, and Charlize Theron is Morticia. Yeah, they actually have a fantastic cast.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good
Chloe Moretz.
Yeah, Chloe is Wednesday.
Yeah, my celeb crush.
Who's
is
Nick?
The voice
who
of
does
Wednesday.
Nick play?
Nick Kroll.
Yeah,
Nick Kroll is the voice of the uncle.
Uncle Fester.
Yeah, Uncle Fester.
He's fucking hilarious. And then Snoop Dogg is cousin It.
Which that one is hard to understand because of the way they wanted to do it.
But it's freaking hilarious.
You can see this this goofiness from it. And then
I'm not
also
mad at it.
Finn Wolfhard? I can't remember his name.
Wolford?
Yeah, Wolford.
Yeah.
The kid from Stranger Things, I think.
Yeah. Played Pugsley?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, like, this was a really good cast. This was a cool cast, and they did great, and the movie was amazing, and it was super
Snoop Dogg
fun.
was cousin It?
Yeah, long story short, it is a hairball pimp that, like, you don't understand what he's saying, but you understand what he's saying.
I get what you mean. I totally get what you mean. So that was a fun little mini recommendation. Why don't we wrap this up with some what the fuck moments? I got one that actually touches back to the beginning about the villain.
Do it.
Clive Owens, or in the movie he was Clay Verris. I just feel like they really, Ang Lee or whoever the writers were, they really made you empathize with Junior or the clone. That
Everybody should be
moment-
empathizing with me, damn it.
Everybody should.
I am a
You're a beautiful
beast.
soul. And a beast. But it was just like an emotional mindfuck. Like when you find out, like, okay, like, yeah, June is finding out that he was a clone, but at the same time, he was raised his whole life by Clive Owens' character, Clay. We'll just call him Clay. Like, he cared for him, he nurtured him, like, he treated him like his own son. And but at the same time, he just revealed to him that, yo, I cloned you to take the place of this guy. That's why you're going out to kill him, because I want you to replace him. And it was just a mindfuck, because he said, but I still love you. I'm still your father. And when they were hugging each other, you could just see the conflict in Junior's eyes, which, again, a nod there to Will Smith on just delivering that confusion. Because I was just confused, too. I'm like, do I hate Clay or do I love Clay? I don't know what to feel right now. So that was my what the fuck moment.
Similar vein, and this one is actually a major spoiler, so should I say it anyways?
Yeah, say it's about a week after.
Yeah, it's about a week after. So my what the fuck moment is in a very similar vein to your what the fuck moment, but instead it is the conclusion of this entirely and crazy, insane ride. And that is Henry understands the emotional weight that is going on, the craziness that is going on for Junior to a degree, right? And tells him,
Yeah.
no, you can't do that. Like, you can't kill your father. You can't do that. And then shoots him, and he like takes the gun from him and shoot. I was just like, this is the conclusion of both stories I did not know that I wanted. This was amazing.
It was crazy because I thought, me too, bro. I thought for sure he was going to take him to jail.
Which, yeah,
just
like
gonna take him to jail.
right? You thought like, no, we're going to take him to jail. He's going to go to prison. No, fucking Will Smith is just pop dead. Like, this is what all together. There are a lot of the notes that I think that the movie hit correctly is why I gave it an 8. Absolutely. Like, there are things that, maybe they weren't like the right notes as far as the entire movie goes, but they hit the notes that I wanted it to hit. So I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree, dude. I think it was fantastic. Nakonsy, I need what the fuck moments? Sorry, that's puberty.
I have a WTF for who the fuck
Nanny?
moment,
ho ho ho.
Whoa.
which I already said, but it was when Will Smith's third clone came running and gunning and had a fantastic fight scene.
That was like a shocker. I was like, yo, who is this guy?
I was like,
right? When
I was like, God damn.
Clay saluted him?
Yeah, I was like, damn, he got another one.
Oh,
I was
no.
like, this Clive Owen piece of bastard.
That in particular is
He
one
is
of
a
those.
bastard.
Normally, I tell you when I call something out. That one I actually didn't expect.
I didn't expect that.
Nakonsy knows, and Alex should know by habit. Like, when something happens and I'm sitting next to them and I thought about it, and I say, like, I called it, I fucking did it. This one, I was just like, what?
He came
There's a
out
third?
of
And
he
it's
came out of
younger?
nowhere.
What?
yeah. But then when he started moving like that, it just all clicked together, and you're just like, oh no,
Right?
like this spells disaster for our heroes.
He's too strong.
That was so great. Oh shit. And then on that awesome ass fucking note, guys, I think we're done. I think we crushed this.
Fuck yeah.
You have quite a bit of editing to do.
There's some. You got some good shit.
But you got a lot of good shit. You think?
I'll pick through it, y'all. I'll pick through it, and thank you. And guys, thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoy it. For the end of the month, the last 2 movies. Well, we got 2 more movies coming. We got Maleficent the second, and then we're
doing Maleficent and Zombieland 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
Together.
And then
that's one movie. That's one pod. That's gonna be a good pod.
It's gonna be fun.
And we got a kung fu movie for you.
That's right. A Halloween themed kung fu movie. We're so excited. This is our favorite time of year. So make sure you guys give us a shout out on Apple Podcasts, 5-star review, and we'll make sure we give you guys a shout out here on the podcast. Once again, thank you for telling your friends about the show, and follow us at HSTSC33 on Instagram, Hidden Shadows of the Secret Chamber on Facebook. Listen to our other podcast, Sidetrack Podcast, that comes out every other Wednesday, and Desviado Podcast, which is our Spanish podcast that comes out the other Wednesdays in between.
Which is, again, just shout out to Patty and Alex for being badasses and being bilingual. Meanwhile, myself here, you can follow me every day, almost every day, most of the days, weekly, monthly, at twitch.tv/Cookie Ninja Carve. And eventually, someday, we will finally get me doing some more sort of other game-related content, like how many RPGs I've been beating lately, how emotionally stunted I am from this endeavor, what kind of sky do I think should be blue, and what kind of sky should be gray.
Yeah.